Today, at Worst Leader Wednesday, we're talking New Year's resolutions. We're going to teach you how to think small.
Worship Leader Wednesday, yeah!
All right, Fuller, check it out. Here are my New Year's resolutions.
All right.
Ready? I'm going to lose 50 pounds
That's
because
a lot.
I've gained every pound Seth has since he was. I really have.
That makes
It's just
sense.
about 40. I needed to lose a few before he was born.
That's true.
So I'm going to lose 50 pounds.
Glad you only have one kid.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
I'm gonna learn 3 new instruments,
That's a lot.
which I figure should help.
Yes, definitely.
That's where I'm gonna start.
I think that's a terrible idea. You need to think small.
Oh,
Brian.
all right. I'm gonna lose 10 pounds.
That sounds good.
That's better.
That's good. In 10 months.
I can do a pound a month.
That's right, you think. So we got 3 tips for you on how to think small and actually achieve some of the goals that you want to achieve this year.
Yeah.
And the first tip is this: be realistic. You know, it is not realistic for me to not eat meat. It's not gonna happen. You know, sorry if you're a vegetarian and I'm offending you.
Who would set a goal to not eat meat?
Yeah,
Fuller?
you know, it's like you're like, hey,
know.
maybe if I don't eat any fried food, any fast food,
No,
or
that's
any
better.
meat.
Well,
Yeah.
2 of those 3 are good.
That's not realistic for
Yeah,
me, man.
right.
I got a fast-paced life. I got 4 kids at the house. It's just not going to happen. But I could say this: I'm going to 1 meal a day. I'm going to just eat a salad.
Yeah.
You know, so be realistic. What can you actually achieve that's not going to completely turn your world upside down? And it's got to be realistic for your life. What is realistic about your life? Maybe you just you want to learn how to play guitar. It's not realistic for most people to practice 2 hours a day.
No.
But what if it was 5 minutes a day? Dude, if you played guitar for 5 minutes a day, if you just picked up your guitar and practiced a G chord for 5 minutes
A day. Yeah.
a day,
You'd know the
you would be amazed at how
first chord.
fast in a couple weeks you'd be flying through that, and it's realistic. You can give up 5 minutes, you know. So be realistic.
All right. So tip number 2 is just pick one thing. So I told Fuller I was going to lose 50 pounds and learn 2 new instruments or 3.
yeah.
You know, those are all feasible things for
Yeah.
me to do, honestly, in the next year. Maybe all of them, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
So what I should do is just pick one of them.
Pick the most important one
And then, pick the most important one.
that you're passionate about.
Yeah. So if I chose to lose 50 pounds in a year, which is doable, you know,
absolutely. People do it all the time.
you got to pick just that one goal and focus on it and break it down into things that you can actually do that are measurable, that are smaller bite-sized chunks. But if you take, 3 or 4 audacious things, and this isn't just New Year's, I mean, this should be, we all have goals for our lives, and we should constantly have goals. We should constantly be striving to get better. But it's really hard to do like 4 massive things in your life at once.
Life overload.
Versus just one.
Because you're not doing any of them right now.
Yeah.
So what makes you think you can do 4 all of a sudden?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You really set yourself up for a lot of disappointment and frustration.
And anxiety.
Yeah, and if you just take one of those things, you can do it. You can get better at something or achieve something one step at a time. So just take all the goals you want to do, prioritize them, figure out which one is the most important for your life right now. Pick it. And as you make progress on that and get it, like, now this is habitual. That's the thing too about resolutions. You got to make things habit.
Yes.
Once you make habit out of that thing, then then take another one of your goals and start working on it that way, but just one at a time.
So the third tip is this: once you figured out, once you're realistic and once you pick that one thing that's important, then you want to break it down into even smaller sections. For example, say I did this middle of this year. I decided I wanted to lose 36 pounds.
Okay.
Right? Because that was to get back to my ideal weight, right? And so I was like, what if I lost 2 pounds a month for 18 months?
It's doable.
That's trackable, right?
Yeah.
That's easy to track. It doesn't take as much, wear and tear and sacrifice on your body. And I'm thinking in 18 months, if I lose 36 pounds, I'll be a happy man, right?
Yeah, 18 months is not that long.
And so we got to look through the lens with more patience. And certain things take longer than others.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Maybe you want to learn a new instrument, you know? So what's the step for that? First, you got to pick the instrument, and then you got to figure out how much you're going to practice and what your goal is that you're trying to achieve. So you got to break it into smaller, measurable steps. Measurable is the key. If you can't measure it, you're probably not achieving it.
it's really hard to know whether you're making progress.
Which is why a lot of people, like with weight and finances, I want to get out of debt. Those are things that are easy to measure. I want to get out of debt, okay? Say I'm $20,000 in debt. Every month, I want to chip off $1,000. You can measure that. You look, did I do it or did I not do it? And if I'm not doing it, maybe I need to adjust my goal. Okay, maybe I need to drop that to $500 a month or $250 a month. Either way, you need a way to mark progress. And as you mark progress, it's like that snowball effect. You start getting excited. You know, and then you're like, then when you start seeing progress, you're like, wait a minute. One day you wake up and I can play guitar. Holy cow.
All right, so Fuller, for worship leaders, give me an example of taking something big and breaking it down into a small goal, like that's applicable to the life of a worship leader.
Great example. I want to get my songs planned out further.
That's a good goal.
Super measurable. Pick a date. Say, you know what? For January, February, and March, the first quarter of the year, January, February, and March, I want to be 4 weeks out on song selection. And you just pick a date. I'm going to measure them on the first Monday of every month. So on the first Monday of every month, I'm going to look at the next 4 weeks. And if I haven't selected all of the songs, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make myself do it. And then you move on.
Here's one final tip. Whatever you decide to do this year when it comes to planning your goals, write them down. That's a big deal. Write them down. Put them somewhere where you'll remember them. Well, thanks for hanging out with us again on Worship Leader Wednesday. Hit the link below to subscribe so you don't miss any more. We're going to be here with you every single Wednesday, so we'll see you next time.
Happy New Year! Let old acquaintance be forgot. Do-do-do-do, know the words. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road.
Don't sing the whole thing, man.
We'll get flagged.
They're watching.
We'll get flagged by YouTube.